Live broadcasts are always a box of surprises. Sometimes everything goes perfectly, but a tiny slip is enough for something hilarious or embarrassing to happen in front of thousands of people. From journalists losing their composure to wins causing awkward situations, live TV never disappoints. And that's exactly what you're going to see here today. So go ahead and drop your like, click the button below to subscribe, and let's go! During an edition of EPTV Primeira Edição, a local newscast in Brazil, a moment that should have been totally educational ended up becoming a reason for laughter among viewers. A doctor was explaining live how to perform the famous Heimlich maneuver, also known as the hug of life, used to dislodge an object when someone is choking. Up to that point, everything was going smoothly until he got the idea to demonstrate the procedure using the reporter himself as the example.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The problem is that when putting the explanation into practice, the doctor got a little too close, positioning his hands above the reporter's navel and starting to make the compression movements. The journalist's expressions, a mix of embarrassment and an attempt to keep a straight face, combined with the doctor's emphatic gestures, turned the scene into something unexpectedly comical. Despite the funny tone, the demonstration ultimately fulfilled its purpose, showing a technique that can truly save lives in choking cases. In 2001, the British program Who Wants to Be a Millionaire became the center of one of the biggest scandals in television. Former Army Major Charles Ingram was accused of cheating to win the top prize of £1 million, counting on help from his wife, Diana, and a university lecturer named Tequin Wittick. The plan consisted of a curious system of communication through coughing and improvised code to indicate the correct answers. While the host read the choices, Wittick, who was in the audience, coughed discreetly whenever the right option was mentioned. At times, Diana herself also took part in the scheme, reinforcing the answers. Ingram's hesitant and indecisive behavior during the game drew attention, as he frequently changed his mind right before confirming the correct answer. After the win, the production grew suspicious of the coincidence and began a detailed analysis of the recordings. The pattern of synchronized coughs became evident, leading to the suspension of the prize and the opening of a court case. In 2003, Ingram, his wife, and Wittick were convicted of fraud, receiving suspended sentences and heavy fines. Since then, the case has been marked as one of the biggest frauds in the history of television. During an interview on the program This Morning, the then former British minister Rishi Sunak ended up starring in a curious and slightly embarrassing moment. When asked what he usually orders at McDonald's, he replied that he loved the breakfast wraps, a breakfast option quite popular in the United Kingdom. The detail is that the item was removed from the chain's menu in 2020, more than 2 years before the interview.
What did you order at Mackie D's?
So I was there at about, I think, 7:45 in the morning, or 7:30. So it was not a burger and nuggets. So I got breakfast.
Sunak explained that when he goes with his daughters, they used to order the bread with hash browns, which is a dish of grated fried potatoes and other accompaniments. The answer sparked comments on social media, since the politician was trying to show familiarity with the everyday life of the British, but ended up showing the opposite. A spokesperson even justified that he probably hadn't been to McDonald's in quite some time, which would explain the mistake. The episode joined other moments considered out of touch with reality, such as when he was photographed trying to use a credit card on a barcode reader. Even with good humor, the incident reinforced Sunak's image as someone who tries to seem one of the folks, but doesn't always strike the right tone. During an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, singer John Legend experienced a hilarious and unexpected moment alongside his wife, Chrissy Teigen. While taking part in a charades game with the host, Legend was trying to act out the Little Mermaid with great focus, gesturing and doing his best so she would guess the answer. That's when Chrissy noticed something no one else had. John's pants zipper was completely open, and all of it in front of the cameras nationwide. Surprised, she tried to warn him, but the reaction was impossible to contain. The audience and Jimmy Fallon himself burst into laughter, while John, visibly embarrassed, tried to laugh it off. The moment quickly became one of the most talked about bits of the night and went viral on social media. Even in the face of embarrassment, the couple handled it lightly, once again showing the good humor and spontaneity that have always made them beloved by the public. In 1999, the British program Blind Date was the stage for one of TV's most talked about hoaxes. Journalist Nicola Gill, who worked for a magazine, decided to infiltrate the show disguised as a temp secretary named Nikki. Her goal was to conduct an investigation into the program's behind the scenes and reveal how the on-air dates really worked. During filming, however, the ruse was discovered. Host Cilla Black, famous for her charisma and sharp sense of humor, confronted Nicola live, revealing her true identity to the public and to the contestant who had been chosen as her match. The situation became even more embarrassing when it was shown that Nicola was already engaged, something she had denied when signing up.
Well, Nicola, I have to say I've got more than a big surprise for you. You don't work as a temporary secretary. I know for a fact that you're an undercover journalist and you've robbed somebody of coming on a proper blind date.
The audience reacted with boos and laughter, and the deceived contestant ended up getting a second chance on the show, able to choose among new suitors. Despite the awkwardness, the atmosphere in the studio remained surprisingly light, with everyone taking it in stride, including Cilla herself, who handled the moment with irony and good humor. Later, Nicola published her piece revealing controversial details about the show, such as the fact that contestants received instructions about what to say and that the prizes shown were fake. In the episode she took part in, for example, every trip envelope offered the same destination, a simple hotel stay in Wigan in northern England. During an edition of Bom Dia Mato Grosso in Mato Grosso, Brazil, presenter Douglas Bellin went through an embarrassing moment that quickly went viral. While handling the studio's big screen, he ended up accidentally opening a WhatsApp message that displayed an image of a man's private parts.
Ai caramba, deixa eu pular isso aqui. Não sei o que é. Tirou? Tirou a tempo?
The situation took everyone by surprise, including the presenter, who reacted immediately, taking the image off the air and trying to mask the discomfort naturally. Even faced with the mishap, he managed to stay in control and continued the broadcast, showing professionalism and poise. On social media, the case did not go unnoticed and soon spread among users, who reacted with humor and curiosity about the moment. Despite the clear embarrassment, the incident ended up prompting playful comments and became yet another example of how live broadcasts are always subject to unexpected situations, especially when they involve direct audience participation, and plenty of people have no shame at all. Journalist Gustavo Macalpin starred in one of the most unexpected moments on Mexican television by being fired live during the broadcast of his political commentary program. The situation happened on October 8th, 2024, and spread across social networks, surprising the public and generating great repercussions.
Pero bueno, todo tiene un ciclo en la vida y llegó tu ciclo. Este es tu último día.
Claro, licenciado. Ah, ¿sí?
Sí, es tu último día.
Licenciado,
Te
pues,
felicito.
pues muchísimas gracias.
Everything occurred around 11 in the morning when Arnoldo Cabada, owner of Channel 66, entered the studio by surprise. He began by praising Macalpin's work for 6 years of dedication to the station, but soon revealed that that would be his last show. The journalist, visibly stunned, realized he was indeed being fired live. Keeping his composure, he ended the program by thanking for the opportunity and commenting, ironically, that it was an unusual way to receive the news. Afterward, rumors arose that the firing was linked to criticisms Macalpin had made of the governor of Baja California's husband. However, the journalist himself dismissed that idea, saying he believed the decision had already been made earlier. On his social networks, he stated that the dismissal happened without prior notice, calling the act rude, but he stressed his pride in the work he had done and guaranteed he would continue with his political content on other platforms, maintaining his commitment to freedom of expression and to the audience that follows him. On May 8, 2014, a broadcast from a Jordanian television network gained international attention after an intense discussion between two journalists, Shaker al-Johari and Mohammed al-Jayuzi, about the Syrian crisis. The debate, initially heated, quickly spun out of control and escalated into a tense clash. During the argument, both journalists tried to get closer to each other aggressively, to the point of yanking the studio table apart. The situation grew so tense that the crew had to intervene to prevent the confrontation from escalating further. The on-air scuffle surprised viewers, who watched in shock as the political debate turned into a moment of chaos. The situation served as an example of how political differences can cross the boundaries of civil dialogue, even in a controlled environment like a news program. During a live segment, a reporter stood beside a line of people, doing her job with professionalism, when an unexpected gust lifted her elegant yellow dress, almost causing an awkward situation. The sudden wind made it delicate, but the journalist reacted immediately and discreetly, running her hand over the dress and avoiding any unwanted exposure. The incident, despite nearly compromising the broadcast, ended up being resolved subtly, without interrupting the coverage or causing embarrassment to the audience. Moments like this show how mishaps can arise during on-location shoots, demanding agility and composure from journalism professionals. During a press conference in Los Angeles, college player Nigel Hayes went through a very embarrassing moment that ended up going viral. While chatting with a teammate, he made a comment about the stenographer present, saying how pretty she was without realizing his microphone was on. The comment was picked up live, provoking immediate laughter in the room.
Okay. Gosh, she's beautiful. Did you hear that? All right, so we'll open it up to questions.
Surprised by his own words, Hayes quickly asked the stenographer if she had heard, covering his face in shame. The situation became even funnier for those watching, because the spontaneity of the moment and the player's immediate reaction made it clear there was no intent to embarrass anyone. It was just a comment that slipped out by accident. Despite the awkwardness, Hayes handled the situation lightly, and the episode ended up generating good laughs for everyone present and for the audience following the conference online. A sweet and unexpected moment drew attention on social media this week when reporter Miles Harris from Ohio was interrupted as he prepared to record a segment by none other than his mom. While he focused on his work, his mother showed up by surprise in her car, pulled up to her son, and greeted him cheerfully. Harris's reaction, surprised and amused, along with the cameraman's laughter in the background, turned the situation into something light and funny.
This is my mom. Hold on. I'm trying to work right now. You over there calling my phone. This is D'Angelo. You can say hi.
The brief encounter was recorded by the cameraman and shared by Harris, going viral with hundreds of thousands of views. According to the reporter, his mother's appearance was totally casual. She was just driving by to run an errand and happened to cross paths with the crew. The spontaneity of the moment and the affectionate mother-son relationship won over the public, showing that even in serious professional situations, little surprises can spark moments of levity. The video came with photos and comments that underscored their affection, and Harris highlighted that his mother is one of his greatest supporters. The positive buzz turned the video into a cheerful viral hit, proving that even unexpected interruptions can become memorable, funny memories. The remote control grill case is remembered as one of the funniest moments on Brazilian television and took place during 1994 on Domingão do Faustão, a show in Brazil. On the program, Faustão interviewed an inventor who presented his creation, an electric barbecue grill with skewers that rotated by remote control, promising to make cooking meat easier in an innovative way. Everything seemed to be going well until the demonstration went completely off the rails. A technical problem caused the grill to catch fire on stage, sending up a lot of smoke and startling everyone.
Aperta o número liga.
The situation required the immediate arrival of the studio's firefighters, who put out the flames with an extinguisher. Faustão, visibly surprised, reacted spontaneously, creating a moment that went down in TV history. The audience, the host, and the inventor himself were embarrassed and, at the same time, amused by the incident, turning the situation into unintentional comedy. A line Faustão said during the fire became iconic and still circulates as a meme on the Brazilian internet today. The story of the remote-control grill remains a classic example of an invention gone wrong live, showing that technology doesn't always work as planned and that sometimes the unexpected results in memorable moments of entertainment. While recording a segment on a farm, a journalist starred in a scene as unexpected as it was funny. As she presented the story surrounded by several turkeys, the professional was surprised by one of them, which snuck up and pecked her backside.
A shortage of poultry.
Despite the initial scare, she took it in stride, laughing along with her colleagues, and even with the turkeys, which seemed to be cackling. The video, which spread across social networks, charmed the public thanks to the reporter's natural light reaction to an unusual moment. Many praised her easygoing attitude, noting how she turned what could have been an embarrassing moment into a genuinely funny scene. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.